Going rogue once again, but I get the plans ready. My hand steady on the trigger, you may fire when ready. I bedaught on the mic, smiling at the chaos. This force is with me, give me one day, I'll come back like...
What's up everybody, Shadow Ninja here, and welcome back to Rage Quit for another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Yeah, I know that we haven't done a little bit of these things that need to change videos in a little while because the game is in kind of a good place right now, but I have a few gripes with the new mode, or relatively new mode, Capital Supremacy, which you're going to be seeing some awesome gameplay that I share with my friend Ragnarok in the background. But anyways guys, let's get into the changes that I would personally like to see for Capital Supremacy, even though it is a really fun mode, and it definitely is a good time waster, and it actually makes you feel like you're a part of these authentic Star Wars The Clone Wars battles that take place throughout all the movies, the prequel movies, I mean. There are still a few issues that I deal with on a regular when it comes to these Capital Supremacy modes, and I am going to state the obvious. I don't think that there are enough maps. Yes, that's the first gripe that I have with this whole entire mode, is that there's only 3 maps right now. And I know that most of the maps are pre-existing maps like Kashyyyk and Kamino, but I know that the likes of Geonosis is relatively new. They had to make a new portion of the map, and they actually took some assets from the original Geonosis Galactic Assault map and put it into this one, so I understood how that could have taken some time, but really, it would have been awesome to see a lot of new planets, such as Coruscant, Mustafar, but hey, it is what it is. We have 3 maps now, and I believe in a month we're also going to be getting Naboo, which is the final map that they officially revealed over on the roadmap, and I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. And the second gripe that I have with this game mode is not really a gripe, it's more of just a discussion topic. The fact that it's only Clone Wars. I actually agree with every single one of the people that believe that this doesn't really need all the eras. I definitely believe that instead of a Clone Wars only playlist, we have Capital Supremacy as the Clone Wars battle rages on all throughout these different types of maps that are already existing in Galactic Assault. We don't really need them to be all original trilogy or sequel maps or anything like that. I believe that if they just keep this to Clone Wars and they really hunker down and they focus on the Clone Wars content, maybe make new maps for original and sequel trilogy. I know that the Rise of Skywalker is coming out soon, and they're probably going to be supporting this game well after that game is after that movie is out. So maybe some Galactic Assault maps, some Blast maps for the newer movies and for the original and sequel trilogy. But if we want some Clone Wars stuff, just save that for Capital Supremacy. Just make Capital Supremacy its exclusive mode, exclusively Clone Wars. I would have no gripe against that, considering that they would also need to make new interiors of the starships. They would need to make new maps and stuff, and I don't think that DICE really has the focus on doing it on original or sequel maps. That's just my opinion, but I do not want to see other trilogies come into the map or come into this mode, because honestly, when I'm playing Galactic Assault and I just see that I am playing repetitively on original and sequel maps, as I have felt in the past, and I just really want to play a Clone Wars map, just go to Capital Supremacy. It's a lot more fun of a mode in my opinion, and I mean, it's fun until you get to the capital ship phase. Okay, that's gonna be my official second gripe, is the capital ship phase. It definitely feels like it breaks up the flow of the battle. Just when the shit is getting good, just when you're a hero and you're rushing through a bunch of bots, you're killing tanks, you're taking command posts, you're working with your squad, and you actually feel immersed in the battle. All of a sudden, your clone commando or your droid commander goes, okay, time to leave, or time to try to get the other enemies away from their extraction point. Which, mechanically, this is fine. It's fine, in my opinion, that they have a second phase to kind of break it up and give people a break. But honestly, I just wanted a really strict conquest mode. Maybe if they would have sacrificed the second phase for maybe spawning on the points, that's also my third gripe. We'll get to that in a second. Spawning on the points so that you don't have to literally run from spawn all the way to a capture point, that's fine. But the second phase, I know a lot of people like the second phase, but it's just not really what I was looking for. I was hoping that we could go up in the air, and we could do dogfights, and we could go inside the capital ships on our own accord and destroy things from the inside out, or maybe destroy weak points on the outside, kind of like the original Battlefront 2 had. I really wanted that to be it, but hey, it is what it is. They decided to make something new, and they decided to make something fresh, and I have no gripes with that. But honestly, I feel that the Capital Supremacy, the Capital Ship game mode, is just Rush all over again, and it's just mixing Galactic Assault with Conquest, and it's not really what I really want. I kind of wish that when the phase came and you needed to board your ship, whoever didn't board the ship stayed on the ground, and the battle waged up in the air. Maybe whatever happens in the air has a consequence on the ground, and vice versa. Maybe the more command posts you get, the more reinforcements you have up in the air. So for the people that really don't like the conquest mode, which I don't know why they would even be playing this mode then, for the people that really don't like it, they get to stay up in the air and they get to play a glorified rush mode, and they get to have their own battle. And maybe when the tickets run out on the ground and the stuff is destroyed up in the air at the same time, that's when the game would end. But it does feel a little bit messy, and I understand why they did it like this, but as I said before, it's just not for me. I would much rather prefer going on conquest on the ground, destroying things, and taking command posts and killing the bots. It's just a whole lot more fun for me personally, but hey, I know some people like it, so it's not really that big of a deal. The third gripe that I stated before was the fact that you cannot spawn on command posts. This kind of put me off for a little bit, because in all the other conquest modes, even in Battlefield and in the Battlefronts of the olden days, you got to spawn on your command post just as long as it wasn't contested or if it wasn't in the process of being captured. I think that this would be a good mechanic for Battlefront 2's Capital Supremacy mode, only because it takes a really long time for you to get to point A to point B. You need like little fast travel ways to get to certain command posts, but I think that's what they wanted. They wanted the games to not feel too fast and too hectic, and then you go to a point and all of a sudden everybody's spawning on it. I understand that, but at the same time, Classic Conquest says that you should spawn on the point so that you're not constantly running back and forth, which I get it. It's something that I personally don't like. But anyways, that's my whole gripe. I do believe that spawning either on your teammates or at the default spawn point is a little annoying, especially when you have all the command posts except for that one and you die and you spawn all the way back and you have to run all the way there, and then by the time you get to that command post, it's like, oh wait, now the one that I literally just ran from is getting attacked, so I gotta run all the way back. Sure, heroes and specialist units run a little bit faster than normal infantry, but honestly, when are you ever going to be able to get to play as a hero, or let's say a rocket trooper, if they're all filled up and everybody's playing as one? Oh yeah, and the AI clone troopers. Okay, this is something that is very minuscule, and it doesn't even matter in the span of the game mode. It doesn't make the game mode any less fun, but the AI clones break immersion immensely. You can definitely see where they kind of were lazy and they improved the AI but didn't really improve how they looked. I mean, the AI is awesome. The AI moves around and plays just like real people. They roll around, they throw grenades, they have incredible accuracy, but the one thing is their cosmetics. Okay, on each Capital Supremacy map, there are always the white clone troopers, the white standard shinies, and you can always tell who is a real clone trooper and who is an AI bot, because 9 out of 10 times no one's wearing that shiny clone trooper skin armor, the phase 2 armor. And it does bother me a little bit that even on Camino, the phase 2 clone troopers are present and not the phase 1. I mean, they fought in the Battle of Geonosis. And also on Camino and Geonosis should definitely have their AI bots be maybe different colored skins so that it kind of blends in with the rest of them. And it also has phase 1 clone trooper helmets and armor. And on Kashyyyk, it should definitely have the standard clone trooper phase 2 armor with the green stripes and stuff, and when they release Naboo, it should be the standard phase 2 clone troopers with the red stripe. I mean, it doesn't really matter in terms of gameplay wise. It doesn't make the game mode any less fun, as I've said before, but it definitely does break immersion when I can definitely see who is a real clone trooper and who is not. I want to feel like I'm doing well regardless of who I'm killing, not just, oh, I'm killing bots now. Oh, now that's a real person. That's a real person. The difference between that and Starfighter Assault is that there are starfighters in that mode, but it's just the fact that no one can really tell who's real and who's not because the AI is so smart, but all the ships look the same. It's kind of a double-edged sword having clone trooper customization and not having a whole lot of clone trooper customization, but hey, I mean, it's a small gripe and it bothers me a little bit. I'm pretty sure that to most of you, it doesn't really bother you because they're just clone troopers, they're just AI bots. You rarely see them, and when you do, you're too busy fighting them to even notice what skin they're wearing. But it's just something to think of. DICE, anybody's listening to this video, maybe just tweak how the clone troopers, the AI bots look on certain maps. As I said before, Phase 2 clone troopers should be only on Kashyyyk and Naboo when it comes out, but they should be according to whatever legion they are. It should be the green stripe or the red stripe according to Naboo or Kashyyyk. And Camino and Geonosis should have the Phase 1 shiny clone troopers, or maybe just a mixture of stripes or whatever. One more thing is the lack of starships. Yes, I know they already came out and said that the starships are a no-go because people would just carpet bomb an entire command post, but I think what the game mode is really missing is some air combat. Now, I personally would not want any starships to just bomb sea, kind of like in Battlefield, because that shit gets really annoying and I feel like it would break up the flows of the fights immensely. But maybe some LAAT helicopter gunship. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, in Battlefield, they always had the helicopters that dropped off troopers. And I think that the maps are pretty big enough so that you can be able to do that. All you would have to do is just spawn 2 LAAT gunships and 2 droid gunships that they have in the opening cinematics of every single one. And I think that if those treated themselves as like helicopters instead of the standard starships flying in the air, you have 2 of each gunship dogfighting, and on top of that dropping off troopers to certain checkpoints. That would be awesome, but then again they would have to rework how the LAATs work. Yeah, but I do feel like that the LAAT gunships and the Separatist gunships should be present as playable things that you just get inside, you lift up in the air, you fight other ships, or you just drop off people to certain checkpoints. I think that would be awesome to just run to a command post and all of a sudden a gunship comes down and just drops off like 15 clone troopers, especially AI clone troopers. Maybe that's how the AI clone troopers can spawn in now. Alright guys, but those were just my personal gripes with Capital Supremacy in Star Wars Battlefront 2. As I said before, they're very minor and they really don't take away from the game mode itself, but they're just things that I would do to improve the game mode and to increase the immersion that DICE and EA are trying to give us. But anyways guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you for staying until the very end for me to tell you that if you did like this video, make sure you press the big thumbs up on it. And if you want to become part of the Rage Quit community, make sure you press the sub tab on the side and the bell so you always stay notified and you never miss a Rage Quit video. I am Shadow Ninja. You've just watched an episode of Rage Quit and I will see you guys on the next one.